Well, guys, the rumor that we've been following all week has finally happened. We are getting a Nintendo Direct partner showcase tomorrow. So yes, there's a lot of stuff to talk about here, but don't fret, don't be super upset yet, because I have some information through this video that should make you really happy. But first off, yes, Nintendo announced there is a partner direct tomorrow on February 5th. That's going to be at 6 a.m. Pacific. And it's going to be 30 minutes of upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch games. If you don't know what a partner showcase is still, these are just third-party only games. You're not going to see your Marios, your Zeldas, any first-party Nintendo stuff. Now, there are a couple times where we could get something that's somewhat there, and I'll talk about what could be here in a second, but yes, we are getting a partner showcase tomorrow. Now, I do got to give a shout out to a couple of the leakers that actually got this spot on. Now, I first saw this from Nash Weedle, who talked about this about a week and a half ago and said that this was going to be a thing. This was in collaboration also with a good friend of the channel of mine, being Attack the Backlog, who also called this out and even teased it with a little thing saying, sorry dude, I gotta plead the 5th, obviously talking about the 5th of February would be when we get this direct, and he said this back on January 26th. So it's hard for me to see who reported on this exactly first, but Nate the Hate also had a podcast on January 26th where he also said that there would be a partner showcase on the 5th. So just want to give shout outs to the people that get things right, because I think it's really worth noting nowadays. But yes, a partner showcase is happening tomorrow, and I'll be completely honest with you. At first, when I heard the rumors about this about a week ago, I was extremely upset. I thought this was the last thing Nintendo needed to do to start off their brand new year with their new console. A lot of people are wanting to see what the next big game is from Nintendo and what big stuff they have coming up, and we just all felt like a General Direct was the best way to start the year, especially now that we're in the month of Zelda's 40th anniversary. It just made the most sense, and I was really critical about this until I started to relax and breathe for a second, because there could be some good positives behind this. I'll talk about that in a second, but first I'm going to talk about this partner. Now, I'm still not through the roof with this whatsoever. I am going to watch it. I'll probably live stream it as well tomorrow morning with you guys, but at the same time, I don't really have any expectations. There are some good things that come out of these shows. Like, I've got Pac-Man World 1 and Pac-Man World 2 repack out of Nintendo Direct partner showcases, so like there are definitely some surprises there. But the reason I'm not a big fan of these shows is because 90% of the games and stuff that they show off is older games, whether it be like a remake of some old game or something that's already been out on other platforms for years now, and it's finally coming over to the Nintendo Switch family of systems, which a lot of the time I've played these games already on my other consoles because I own a PS5 and an Xbox Series X and a PC, so there's really no reason for me to get them again or double dip just to have them in portable, especially when they don't look or play or run as well as they do on PS5. But I've seen a lot of other content creators and people saying that this is something that we need. We need to see some big third-party games for Switch 2, and that this is going to be a really good show. And I see a lot of other content creators looking forward to this thing. And I guess now, you know, they've kind of put the hype on themselves, because now I'm really looking at this thing saying, okay, let me pay attention then, because I swear we always hear the same thing from these content creators saying that we're going to be seeing these big games like Red Dead Redemption, GTA, and all this stuff, and none of them ever happen. Like, I can't remember too many big reveals that was like mind-blowing for partner showcases, like games that we never thought we were going to get. Like, we still haven't even seen the first Call of Duty game yet come to Nintendo, which we know is happening soon. I would like be willing to bet it's going to be here, but we keep hearing about how all these big third-party games are going to show up, and I'm not seeing those games when we get these presentations. It's always some smaller things like a new Katamari game or a new Pac-Man World game, which I love. I love both of those games, so like I'm not complaining about those. I'm just saying it's not what the people are asking for. Now, I don't follow all the rumors of what third-party games are apparently supposed to be coming to Nintendo Switch 2 or anything like that, but I did want to start paying attention to some of the predictions and some of the things that people want to see. This one comes from Curb Pink Furry, where they say Capcom, they want to see some Monster Hunter stuff, which we like literally always get Monster Hunter something. They normally open the show, so I'm sure that will be there. I've been seeing Kingdom Hearts a lot, like Kingdom Hearts Collection and stuff like that. Final Fantasy games like 16, Persona with Metaphor, but then we have the big ones that people want to see, like these Silent Hill games, Elden Ring, and I think it's DLC. So trust me, I would love to be proven wrong, but I just keep hearing all these big games that people think are coming to Nintendo Switch 2. They don't get revealed, but then they still say the partner showcase was good, and this is the stuff that we get. No joke, this was an actual game in the last partner showcase that they spent like literally 3 minutes on. So this show is always an extremely mixed bag to me, but it doesn't mean we can't get goodies out of them, and also some technical first-party stuff. And I know you might be like, what? Well, it depends on the game, because if it's something like a Koei Tecmo Warriors game, we've been seeing Hyrule Warriors make appearances here. We've seen Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment make an appearance in the last one. So what if there's another Warriors game? For instance, there's been some talk that there could be something like a Xenoblade Warriors potentially in the works, because we just received a report that Caitlin Thorborn's Spotlight profile updated, referencing a Xenoblade Chronicles game coming in 2026. She voices the character Cosmos, I believe, in Xenoblade 2. I haven't gotten to that game yet, so please give me credit if I messed up or butchered that name. Now, most people think this is going to be a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch 2 edition that's going to be announced during a general direct sometime in the future. But some people even thought, like, what if we got a Xenoblade Warriors, which, as someone who only played the first game so far, I would love something like that, because I think it is a series, with the first game alone, that would make a lot of sense to have a Warriors game based on that, with like all the characters from the past games. That would be really cool. But unfortunately, I think that's all we can really expect from a Nintendo game making an appearance here. Unless Nintendo is collaborating with yet again another company to make something like Mario Rabbids like they did with Ubisoft, I don't really see anything else making an appearance here. But trust me, I didn't betray you. I know. I'm still upset about this not being a first-party direct, and I know that it can be a little bit of a bummer to see something like this announced, especially to start the year. But let me try to give you some reassurance right now. This is by no means me telling you that this stuff is going to happen. I'm just saying the way things are lining up, it's looking like this is going to be a pretty big next couple of weeks, because there's been a lot of talk and rumors of a general direct that's going to be following after this partner showcase up to about 2 weeks later, or maybe even a month later. But we could be getting a general Nintendo Direct, because the same person that had knowledge on this partner showcase also had knowledge on something else. Take a listen.
To summarize, again, we're hearing Monolith Soft game Mario 3D out this year. That's Nintendo's big game, is what Nash is hearing. And he's hearing from a couple of sources, third week of February, but he's also hearing from a few other sources, March.
So, did you catch all that? Yep, the same person that guessed the partner showcase date has also said we're going to be getting a general direct in either the third week of February or sometime in March. I would presume the beginning of March. But apparently we're also going to be getting something from Monolith Soft, and also 3D Mario. Isn't that interesting? We're now getting teases from this actress of a Monolith Soft game that's coming out in 2026. So that's 2 of the 3 things that he's predicted so far. Well, I guess you could say 2 of the 4, because we're still not only waiting on this 3D Mario, but a general partner direct. But yeah, once again, do not take this as a confident thing that's 100% going to happen. Take it with a grain of salt, of course. When it comes to 3D Mario, you have to take it with a grain of salt, because we've been duped so many times. But this is something to maybe calm you down a little bit and say, okay, maybe I can wait until, towards the end of February or towards the beginning of March, because it could absolutely be worth it if 3D Mario is actually there. But I will make an entire video on this topic of the hype of a general direct and 3D Mario again, because there's been so much more information about this. Not only did Nate the Hate actually put it on his prediction list, as he thinks it's going to happen as a big holiday game, but we also have Zach from the Switch Force channel on YouTube. Surely you've heard about him in the channel. It's strange because he hardly ever tweets. He's normally just a content creator, and he doesn't leak anything until like recently, like the last year. Ever since the Switch 2 came out and stuff, he's been really on top of random leaks, and I don't know how he's getting them, but he's been 100% spot on when he says something about them. But he expresses some information the other day stating people will see the Switch 2 hardware numbers and say, see, they don't need any big games. Those numbers are exactly why they need big games, as the ghost of the Wii flies on by, and then finishes off by saying, good thing 3D Mario is coming. Now, one could boil this down to him just, making hopeful predictions, saying, duh, of course the 3D Mario is coming, but perhaps he actually does know something, because like I said, he actually has been knowing information for almost every single Nintendo Direct for the last 3 Directs, it feels like. So he knows something, and it's just another reason to kind of get a little excited for it. Once again, keep your expectations in check, but you can be excited. That's the point of being a Nintendo fan. That's what's so exciting about being a Nintendo fan, is being excited for situations like this. Something else that could continue to keep your hype levels up is Mike Odyssey, another good friend of the channel and good friend of mine. He actually found a trademark that shows Splatoon Raiders having a publication date for that trademark of February 17th, which could mean there could be a General Direct on February 17th or around that date, which is around that third week of February. Interesting. Now, something else special about that date that Keon noticed on Twitter is that on February 17th of 2021, it was the same time a Splatoon 3 game was announced in a Nintendo Direct, so maybe they're doing something like that again. On top of all of that, Nintendo tweeted out, "Join us at Nintendo New York and Nintendo San Francisco this month for in-person events." They have February 12th for Mario Tennis Fever's launch. They have in-store events in February, whatever that's supposed to mean, and then they have February 27th for Pokemon Day. So what is the in-store events thing in February? That's pretty interesting. It could be, a slew of things, but just keep your eye on that. Even Nash Weedle commented on it saying, in-store events, it's a good opportunity for reactions to Nintendo Direct. So is this just a thing for a partner showcase, or are they actually planning multiple Directs or multiple shows or something to have in-store events for? Only time will tell. Yes, we have a partner direct tomorrow, but it doesn't mean the end of the world because we still have a lot of weeks left of February and of course the beginning of March to give us some pretty big news. But what do you guys think about this? Are you excited for this partner showcase, and are you excited for a potential General Direct right afterwards that could give us 3D Mario? But make sure you keep it here on Nintendo Land because there's so much more that we got to talk about. So make sure you leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date on all things Nintendo and Mario and Zelda and everything Nintendo. I don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day, guys. I'll see you in the next one.